Hello everybody, welcome back to YMB. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can build your very own Lego MOCs by just looking at regular Lego sets, using regular Speed Champion chassis pieces, and looking at models of little toy cars that you have. And then I'll get into the wheels later. So first off, you're going to want to buy a Lego set. This is very good Lego set that you should buy. It has cool tricks that you can learn from it, and it just shows you so much. Now another thing is you could also look at the picture back here, and it gives you a reference of what the car is supposed to look like. Now you could just search up images online or anything of that matter to build your own little car, but I recommend getting a car that looks easy to build. Take something like a Lightning McQueen car that I have here and try to build it. Another thing about learning how to build your very own Lego MOC is just reading Lego sets. Yes, I said that right. If you read Lego sets, they show you a bunch of things, and especially these Lego booklets. Now all these right here you should pick up because they have the slant in the front. It'll show you how to build slanted fronts for the cars. Anything that's too complicated, you could just take this and put it into your own MOC, or you could change it up a little bit to fit in your own MOC, but this will definitely show you how to slant the front of your car. Now, if building is a little bit too hard and you really can't get it started, you should get sets that look very basic, that have the minimal detail on the outside. Get an instruction manual for these cars because you could base off these, so you can just start customizing it, and then until you come to the point of where it's your very own MOC, where the car you wanted to build. And now these are very simple. So like this one, it shows you could just build the doors with simple slants or cheese wedges. Another thing is, if you have a MOC that has a shifter, you should use a microphone piece. And usually Lego Speed Champions comes with one, so you could just take up from one of them that come with a set like that. When it comes to fictional cars, it gets a little harder, but if you get a fictional car that looks easy to build, you could look up online pictures and try to see if you can build it. Or if you have a little model, you could just use it as a 360 view, just so you can get the very exact details you need. And always, this is always important, make sure you sketch it out. So you don't have to use this door piece right here that I have done here. You could have made a simple, really looking door and then just slowly take it apart and put it back together to get something that you would want on your MOC. Now, if you really want to go into cartoon cars, you would have to search these up online too, and using that slant trick that the Lego booklets show you is really helpful when it comes to little dips on the sides of the front of the car, like that very part right there, and you could just see how much of a slant and compare it to your own slant. Always compare your pictures to your models. Try to see if you can come up with ideas. Now, if you do want to build a complicated car such as this Lego model, you would need to have a lot more bricks. So buy a bunch of sets like these and then look up the model. Depending on your model, you should get double of the same color, since you might not have a very exact piece for every corner of your build or slant of your build or anything that's to do with the outside colors. Now, if there's multicolor, get 2 packs of any car. So let's just say a car like this model. I chose this color because it came with this car and this car together in one pack. I used it and put it together and then used my extra pieces that I have to build the rest. Now, you won't have every piece, but it's not the end of the world. You could just use a different color piece there, and when you do have a chance to get that piece, you should definitely put it on. Now, when it comes to building the windshield, you should definitely try to make up what the windshield looks like at the very end point, or just get various colors such as a gray or Corvette. Doesn't really matter, just get a windshield that looks something like this. Depending on your model, you might need a slanter one, so make sure you pick up a set that has a slant. Just like this Koenigsegg, it doesn't have too much on it, and this Ford GT, it has a blue and orange color right there. Really easy to use your own builds. Or if it doesn't have one, you should definitely use a piece that would represent that car model, especially like Lightning. He looks like this as a cartoonish style, and it doesn't need all a windscreen just because it has no minifigure to sit down in, and fictional cars like this tend to lack in the same color that you need with windscreens or windshields. Another thing is measuring your car models. Now, you might not have the car at home. You can't just measure it from the outside. You have to search up the lengths of the car and then implement it into minifigure scale. Now, there is 3 different variants of wheels: first generation, second generation, and the last generation. This is the newest one, this is the second newest, and this is the oldest. All this are not really that good just because they have this right here. You can see with this Speed Champions piece right here, it does not fit because it has a pin. It doesn't have the axle piece. Now you could build your own with the axle piece and just plop it onto a plate, but I recommend these just because they could fit these second generations and third generations. Now the chassis piece right here, sometimes it might not be suitable for your car because it'll be too wide or the sides might not have the right type of build that you want because it has an exhaust pipe or it has too many studs, or it could be a short car, a big car. This one was a short car, so I couldn't use this one, and I need to put exhaust pipes right there. So I recommend using a regular piece and then putting on some snot bricks or these hanging over knot bricks. You can see right there, there's a offset. But if you're a beginner, definitely use this, even if it's just a sketch. For wheel arches, this is very important because they have these, and these. The difference from the three are actually very, very, very important. So this one right here is very good for making slanted cars like these right here. This one has a slant on it, but it uses this wheel well because it has a slant for the first 4 bricks that are in the middle. But these are really good if you're making the whole thing slanted down the front. Now these give a finished look on the sides, but they don't have good building opportunities such as this one. As it looks the same, it has more building opportunities than this one right here. Let's use this little model as an example. So for this piece, it would be really great for the back since there's not much of a design right here, but just a little bump right there. So you would just need to put a rounded piece on top of there and just put a tile on that side. For the front though, it looks like you would need to have a slanted piece. So you should go with something like this. But if you don't want to use a slanted piece and only for the first 4 blocks in the front, you should use this one or this one at least, since it doesn't really have a big effect, but that is very low. So I would recommend this for something that has a low front, such as this model right here. Times out where the model doesn't have a low front, you could see that there is a bigger line right here than there is right here. That's almost paper thin, and this is a bit thicker. So I would recommend this one in the front. So like I said earlier, sketches are really helpful. So sketches are not permanent. They sound like what you think they sound like. Sketches are just to be there for a little bit of time. As soon as you get to the more complicated stuff, you'll start making more progress, and then you'll see why they're called sketches, because you're just outlining the very basic of a car. So that's why when doing wheel wells, you should always try each one of them to see what you can do with them. Thank you for getting to the end of the video. I hope this video helped you with any projects that's going on. And if you're a beginner, thank you for tuning in and seeing how this could help you in your first build. So anyway, thank you for watching and have a nice day.